keto. It's so gross. This fucking sucks.
Hello, and welcome back to the drama. Spooky edition, of course. Today's story is about Jordan Underwood, one of the more extreme fat activists on TikTok. They go by they, them, he, him pronouns, and we will respect the pronouns, but I will not respect the absolute bull poop when it comes to the fat activism they spout on TikTok. Now, I wasn't too familiar with Jordan. I don't watch much fat activism videos, but my interest was piqued when I saw an internet brawl between Jordan and Alan Roberts. Yes, a fight! Oh, sorry, Slappy. Oh, he's down. Sorry, my boy. Let me break down the drama for you because I need you to understand how I came across his content, Jordan's, and how they know who I am. So Alan Roberts is a no-nonsense type trainer, and he would make a video on Jordan.
People were like, well, that's lipedema in her legs. I'm not disagreeing that that's lipedema, but just like with this Anna O'Brien glitter and lasers lady, if you have lipedema, that is more of a reason to not gain weight, to not allow, that is more of a reason to be meticulous with your nutrition and your activity.
Well, Jordan would see this, and you know how many of these fat activists act when they get critiqued. They get pissed, and Jordan followed suit. It all started when Jordan comments on Alan's video. Back at you, King. Right back at you, King size. So Jordan would run. Well, use their finger and slide back onto their profile and tell on Alan to their followers so they can band together and take Alan Roberts down. And so Jordan did this by reporting Alan to NASM. NASM is the National Association of Sports Medicine, which is a personal trainer certification program. Every trainer who works at a gym needs one, or you go to college and you get educated that way, but most people just goes through like a 3 to 4 to 6 month process and gets the certification rather than a 4 to 5 year process. So Jordan tells their followers to report him to NASM, you know, the certification company that anyone can get. This is the contact info of NASM, the organization through which he is certified as a personal trainer. If you feel so inclined, feel free to send them an email or give them a call. His name is Alan Roberts, and not only that, but Jordan sends a personalized email to NASM himself. Hi, my name is Jordan Underwood, and a personal trainer who was certified by your organization has decided to make YouTube videos about my assumed health based on a single photo of me, as well as a photo of me as a child that he found online. I am currently undergoing treatment for lipedema and lymphedema, so both, and have found the content to be not only incredibly harmful to me personally, but also goes against all ethics that someone in a field meant to help people should be following. In his video, he makes claims about my health, stating that I am a binge eater, diabetic, and have a high BP. I'm not, and I don't, and misrepresenting the impacts of lipedema on the body. While I don't anticipate you will do anything about this, I felt it's important that I share this information with you because while yes, I am fat, I am still a person, and I am a person who is experiencing a great deal of difficulty because of health issues that have caused me to gain a significant amount of weight in the past year. Medical care has been incredibly difficult for me to find because of the mentality that he has and has perpetuated in his videos. I would love to touch base with someone at NASM about this if possible. Thank you, Jordan. Now, he didn't report Alan to the gym he works at, but according to Jordan, if someone wanted to do that and send the gym the email that he works at, well, feel free. The only little tiny problem with that predicament is that Alan Roberts owns his own business. But when someone owns their own business and they are not a fake person, as in they literally live their life in front of their clients the way they do on social media, there's absolutely nothing that you can expose. Alan's clients already knows exactly what he believes in and how he is. So when this got out, none of his clients cared. His business didn't hurt. Soon, Jordan Hall and his rescue team would find out you can't always force people to say what you want, think what you want, and or apologize or get them fired for their beliefs. But furthermore, more people would report Alan to NASM, infiltrate his comments. I don't care about your beliefs on fatness, but it's not okay to talk about a stranger's body like that. I made it my business, and I will say whatever I want. What now? Yeah, she didn't respond. You can't judge someone's health based off their body. You may claim you can, but you can't. It's really damaging as a personal trainer, in quotes, is making videos judging someone. Well, then Alan made a full video on his YouTube titled King Size Cancellation Attempt. So while I was eating my popcorn, reading comments of this virtual war, I was like, I might as well just check out some of Jordan's content. I have seen a few tiny little clips, but like I said, I don't watch much. I usually wait for people to send me things because people who make their whole identity about being obese is a little weird, and it's gotten a little old for me. And I saw that Jordan's identity was lump legs. But after this battle and the multiple comments I saw that Jordan left on Alan's profile, my interest was piqued. I wanted to see what they were saying on their profile. Maybe this is a very interesting individual. And so I clicked, only to find out that I was prematurely blocked. Oh my. I have never talked to, shared, responded, or laughed in the comment section about this individual. I didn't put not one comment on Alan Roberts' page. I just observed. Jordan really wasn't interesting enough for me. Honestly, if someone said his name, I would have said, who? But apparently Mr. Jordan Woods knew exactly who I was and found me to be somewhat of a threat on TikTok to prematurely block me with no interaction. And that's fine. Maybe they found my content to be triggering. But when you do that, now I get curious. Now I ponder. Now I'm interested. What did Jordan not want little old me to see? And it's driving me absolutely mad. I need to know. And I know you do too. Now, before we hit their TikTok, let me give you some background that I found thanks to many people on YouTube who have covered Jordan. Apparently, Jordan is a very popular one to talk about. And I came across someone named Sam at Every Size who happens to be in my weight loss support group. And I had no idea when I came across her videos that she had a YouTube. And while I was watching her, I said, this chick looks familiar. And she was. So I linked her below if you're interested. She breaks down all of Jordan Woods' videos bit by bit. She doesn't leave anything out. But I'm gonna give you a quick Cliff Notes version of everything so we can dip into his TikTok. Jordan is a fat activist that doesn't try to lose weight. From what I've gathered from Sam's videos, he's very anti-weight loss and doesn't think he needs to do it at all. Jordan doesn't like to get weighed at doctor's office, etc., etc. Very similar to many of the other people that we've talked to on my channel when it comes to fat acceptance. They accept the fat, they think it's great. Well, like I said, Jordan's nickname is Lump Legs, and this is because of the lymphedema or lipodemia, I guess. They have both. According to Jordan, the reason why they are so big is because purely of these medical conditions, not for what they eat, because of the medical condition.
Well, in my specific case, I have a genetic connective tissue disorder called lipedema that I first displayed symptoms of when I was going through puberty at about 13.
Earlier this year, Jordan would go on a doctor journey to figure out what is going on with their legs. Why are they so big? Why are they so lumpy? And after doctor visit after doctor visit, each time they would say, you're fat, go on a diet.
And though I brought up the specific diagnosis that I ended up getting several times over the course of those 2 years, not a single doctor that I saw was able to diagnose me.
Well, Jordan would say, absolutely not. There's something else that has to be wrong.
Weight loss, most of the time, is not the solution, and in that time, their conditions could worsen.
Well, after Jordan would put on about 40 pounds in only 1 month at a doctor's appointment when he finally allowed them to actually weigh him, the doctor would find it very suspicious. 40 pounds in 1 month? That's a lot. And they decided to look deeper into it and actually listen to Jordan. And eventually they found that they did, in fact, have lymphedema or lymphedema. I'm a little confused now because in that previous note that we saw from Jordan, they have both. Now, what I found very interesting while watching Sam's video, Sam pointed out that yes, it's very annoying that doctors will just say, you're fat, lose weight. But if Jordan allowed the doctor to continuously weigh them at each doctor appointment, they would see that that scale was going up quite rapidly. And with lipodemia and lymphedema, you want to get on it rather quickly than waiting for it to get, well, where it is with Jordan. After the diagnosis, the doctor suggested that he goes on the keto diet. And Jordan throws an absolute fit, cries in his car because diets are against everything he believes in.
I don't want to do keto, it's so gross. This fucking sucks. I'm being blamed for my body when the answer is a diet program that is used by people who just want to lose weight, you know? Because that's ultimately not my goal. And so I also feel like trapped that I'm now being like lumped in with a group of people who have beliefs that are so antithetical to mine. It's just hard.
But he's gonna do it. She's gonna do everything the doctor said. Well, down the road, he wasn't doing everything the doctor said, from the diet to wrapping the legs.
They refer me to get compression socks and a leg pump, and they say, you know, do these and come back in 6 months. Not covered by insurance because they're custom, because I am too large. So no compression socks for me. And I do the leg pumps, but the leg pumps you have to do for 2 hours every day. And as someone who works, that isn't really possible.
Eventually, Jordan's family checks them into something called Fat Camp, or that's what Jordan called it on their Instagram, which they would start documenting on a new series on Jordan's channel called Lump Legs. But they got so much backlash because of all the excuses, hypocritical rants, and people just saying, boy, you're not doing the diet, you can't even do the leg wrapping. So in fact, you ain't actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you really wanted to solve this issue that you rant about every single day, then you would. Well, that would irritate them, and they would swipe everything, put all the videos on private for this constant bullying. I'm not sure if they called it bullying, but that's usually the rhetoric that they use. So now that I caught you up in all of that, you can get more details from Sam's channel. Let's dive into this TikTok, the TikTok of Jordan Underwood, the TikTok that Jordan didn't want me to see. After this journey, you will be dripping in fat liberation and knowledge. So Jordan's TikTok is very interesting. She is someone that enjoys to educate people on the anatomy of a fat individual. And when he got this comment, that's the biggest fupa I've ever seen. They decided to educate this individual because a stomach and a fupa are completely two different things.
I am 100% positive that none of you actually know what a fupa is.
I do. It's right there, right? The lowest part of the stomach.
This is not a fupa, this is a stomach. FUPA is an acronym, and that's why you capitalized all the letters. It stands for Fat Upper Area, or Fat Upper Pubic Area, as circled below. It's not this, it's this.
I was right, so slap my ass and call me a fat acceptance warrior, because I know my stuff. Also, wasn't the commenter also correct? Why is this a video? He has a fupa. I know, I've seen his body in action.
I think my favorite part of being fat is that we're like durable as fuck.
All right.
Like I heard this story once about this fat guy who got hit by a car. And he like flew it's across the street.
Shit, that fat person got hit hard.
And he like didn't even break a bone. That's amazing.
Is it though? Are you saying be fat so if you get hit by a car, your fat body goes flying across the intersection and you won't break a bone? Maybe? Okay, so let's just add that one positive thing to the positives of being morbidly obese versus the absolute long list of negative ones. One of those being when morbidly obese people fall or do get hit by a car and fly across the intersection. Many will break a bone, and usually when they do, then they're on bed rest even more, rapidly gain weight because they have food problems, increases their depression, and they die. But yeah, way to look at the positives, Jordan.
I hate when people say that wheelchairs are only for people who need them.
Now this is what I can get behind. When my grandma was dying and we had to wheel her old ass around, you know what I was saying? That wheelchair should be for my able-bodied ass too. When I'm at Disneyland, I too, Jordan, get absolutely pissed off when I see people in wheelchairs. Yes, I don't need them, but sometimes a bitch gets tired.
Because when they say that, what they mean is wheelchair users are for people who are paralyzed.
No, they just said that wheelchairs are for people who need them. Amputated legs. I worked or volunteered when I was super young, like middle school, I think, in a special needs classroom for very young children, like elementary school children, and a couple of the kids needed a wheelchair because they can't walk. Pregnant women that have given birth. I just don't think of that one singular person, Jordan. And I don't think that's what they mean. It seems like you are really overly thinking into this and you're upset over something just very minuscule.
But not everyone who is a wheelchair user, who uses a wheelchair, who needs a wheelchair, is paralyzed.
This is good stuff. This should be an absolute course. like in a college, because I didn't know every person in a wheelchair isn't paralyzed. I'm learning a lot. What about you guys?
Because if you're gonna do away with wheelchairs for anyone who has the physical ability to stand for like a couple seconds.
So now we're trying to get rid of wheelchairs? She knows we're not trying to get rid of them, right? I don't know anyone who's saying that wheelchairs should not exist.
I think we should do away with strollers.
No, we're gonna give Jordan the stage, okay? We're gonna give him the stage, because I need him to explain that one. It's a little wackadoodle. I wanna see where this analogy goes before I share my own opinion.
Because toddlers can stand. They can walk pretty far actually. If you hold their hand, they can get around fine. You know why we use strollers? Because we do need them.
That can't be the mic drop moment. Okay, play the rest out.
We need them. You cannot tell me that we do not need strollers. And we use strollers for kids who are pretty big, right? 4, 5, 6 years old. You're using a stroller because kids get tired. Their muscles are underdeveloped, just haven't gotten the chance to grow yet.
All right, so I'm gonna ask, because I don't know. I have no clue. Do you identify as a child or a baby or 4 years old? I saw that TLC special. I'm not being rude. There's people out here that really identify as babies and like to be carried as such. So if you are not, why are you comparing yourself, Jordan, to a child in this imaginary fight that you're having with this imaginary person? Who's saying that you don't need a wheelchair or a motorized scooter? Personally, if I saw Jordan, let's just think of a random place, Disney, in a scooter or even a wheelchair at the same time, okay? I would think, yep, looks about right. I'm not part of this crowd who thinks that someone Jordan's size can walk as much and as fast as I do at Disneyland or any other average sized person. If I saw Jordan in a wheelchair at Disneyland while I was in line getting my $8 Rice Krispie treat, I wouldn't say, no, woman, get the lump legs up and walk 20,000 steps. I would think someone their size would be in pain if they walked that much at Disneyland. And I would think even if they did walk, they would probably need quite a bit of breaks. And shing, that's why the wheelchair is there. I'm trying to understand who's saying, Jordan, yep, you look like you can walk a lot. Like, is that what you get from this? You see the epitome of someone that can walk around at Disneyland all day and then cross on over in the evening to Disney California Adventure, because that's like another 15,000 steps. That's what you see? Or do you see this person in a wheelchair or a motorized scooter there or in Walmart? I'm just curious as to why this video even came up. Who's telling you not to sit your ass down in a wheelchair? Because if we went to Disneyland together, I'd probably ask do you got a motorized scooter? Because I do a lot of walking.
And you know what? Some adults need strollers too.
There's the mic drop. He schooled us. He did it. That was boom. Anyway, that video was not taken well at all, and he noticed that it wasn't taken well because they responded about the comments.
And that post comment section proved my point.
Bro, you made an unrelated analogy with kids in strollers, dude. Yeah, you tried to relate your almost 30-year-old ass to a 6-year-old. It was weird. Am I disabled because I have a drinking problem? Go back to the ocean. Come on. That was, oh, never mind. He loves to be in the ocean. So something I noticed about this group, and we've talked about this a lot before, and I know that Jordan has a medical condition and whatnot, but a lot of them say fat is genetic. We are fat because our whole family's fat and it just runs in our family. Well, Jordan had their mom on their TikTok, and I have to point out, Jordan's mom is tiny.
J. Crew sweater, fanny pack from Amazon, I think. J. Crew jeans, and some cool golden goose.
And this isn't the first time I've seen fat acceptance warriors show their family, and their whole family is tiny. It just cracks me up a little bit to see their mom, and I was expecting someone to be super obese, because a lot of these people in this community loves to push that fat is just genetics. So you have lipidemia in all your body, including your face, or is that just regular fat? So Jordan actually responded very, very nicely and actually informative, informative in fat acceptance language.
I'm pretty sure this was asked in good faith, so I am going.
So he starts to explain that everyone has fat on their face, of course, and they start giving that old fat acceptance explanation that genetics is why I'm like this. Some people have, genetically more fat on their face and others don't. But I find it odd that Jordan is saying, well, this is kind of just how my face is. It's regular fat, but this is just kind of how it is, while looking at her whole body. And the fact that he said that, oh, it's just regular fat,
like, has very little to do with your overall body size. So yeah, this on me is just regular fat.
so then you can lose it. You just don't want to. That checks out. Jordan is also a model, and he's done a lot of work. And in this TikTok, they responded to this comment. I can't believe this is what modeling has turned into. And instead of just kind of responding to it, they share all of the, really just a lot of work that they've done in the modeling industry.
It's not gonna happen. You tried your best.
I guess the fupa got in the way there, and everything else. But she tried. Being fat isn't a problem, but when you're that big, it's very dangerous. And saying it's beautiful and healthy isn't helping.
I talk about getting treatment often, almost daily on this page. So, check.
That could have been diagnosed if you got your ass on the scale, but scales are dangerous and you guys like to beat them.
You're stealing my life. I'm tired of you making me feel if I'm good or bad.
And to your second point, that because I'm unhealthy, saying that I'm beautiful is not helping. Nothing any of you say is helping anything because you're nobody.
It's the pink sauce lady all over again.
You're not special.
The only person who can help my health are my doctors.
All right, I'm starting to see why you deleted the good old Lump Legs channel. I already caught wee woo. Call the police. A spot of hypocrisy there. In videos that are deleted but still lives on forever on many channels, like Sam's, he didn't want to do what the doctors told them to do, down to wrapping the legs consistently. So apparently doctors ain't special either. In fact, something that was very interesting is that they did not want to listen to the doctor. They didn't want to go to a normal nutritionist. They went to a fat positive nutritionist to help them with their weight loss diet.
My plan for next week is to meet with some sort of fat positive dietitian who can help me through that side of things.
A fat positive nutritionist that doesn't believe in weight loss. And that's why Jordan will always be, if he continues on this path, Lump Legs, the channel that we will never forget. Well, that's enough Jordan for me. I've watched a few videos and I have to say they would not have been on my radar if they didn't block me. But now, my little lumpy legs, you are. Everyone else, even Jordan, thank you so much for coming here today and watching. If you did enjoy this drama breakdown, please hit that subscribe button. If you didn't enjoy it, you just want to hate watch me, that's completely fine. It still does exactly the same thing for me. Remember, my watchers, you do not have to be a size 2. If you have lipodemia or lymphedemia, we don't expect you to be super thin, but we do expect you to follow what you're supposed to be doing instead of spreading that this is just the way it is. Because Google exists and you're gonna look kind of dumb. And of course, health in the real world is very important. Now, you watchers, make sure to be good. Watch more of my videos. And of course, have an absolute fantastic day. And I will see you guys next time.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex on.